Thailand's Foreign Minister Parnpree Bahiddha-nukara has visited Tak province near the border with Myanmar in two advanced plans for setting up a humanitarian assistance corridor in the region. The kingdom's aid initiative was endorsed last week by ASEAN foreign ministers and a representative from Myanmar. CNA's Wong joins us live. She is in Mae Sot in Thailand. Mae, good evening. Where did this idea for a humanitarian corridor actually come from?
Thailand is the initiator for this humanitarian corridor simply because it is Myanmar's immediate next-door neighbour. I'm in fact standing at the border between Thailand as well as Myanmar. Over on that side, that's where Myanmar is. And it's pretty quiet right now, but obviously we know the situation is such that Myanmar military coup has been in progress for 3 years right now. And not just that, affecting the people inside, Thailand too has been feeling the impact because refugees are fleeing across into Thailand. And obviously we have heard so many of the atrocities being committed inside against the civilians. The United Nations cited the fact that almost 19 million people are in dire need of humanitarian aid inside, while more than 2 million people have been displaced from their homes because they were sent fleeing due to the clashes. And that's the reason why Thailand has again brought this idea up to say that we need to get a move on providing humanitarian aid. And right now, the deal is ASEAN is actually supporting and endorsing this, and the other stakeholders as well have also come forward to say, yes, we will get a move on this. Thailand's foreign minister visited an area today to see and to understand what is going to happen. He was told that some 20,000 people inside Myanmar will receive the first delivery of this humanitarian aid that will be communicated between Thailand Red Cross as well as Myanmar Red Cross. 20,000 people, unfortunately, we don't know where they are, but they belong to 3 townships inside Myanmar who apparently are in need of this humanitarian assistance. Now, this is not going to happen overnight. It'll take about 1 month before we actually see the reality of all these humanitarian aid being pushed and being delivered on the ground. And some of this humanitarian aid could include oil, rice, blankets, and other necessities. Obviously, a lot of questions on why are you working with the Myanmar Red Cross, because many have criticized the Myanmar Red Cross as being an organ of the Myanmar military, and so the distribution of aid will actually not be going to the right people. However, the foreign minister of Thailand had this response.
เราก็คิดว่าเรื่องเกี่ยวกับมนุษยธรรมเนี่ยเป็นเรื่องที่เกี่ยวข้องกับประชาชนโดยตรงไม่มีเรื่องการเมืองนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นทุกฝ่ายเนี่ยก็น่าจะเห็นด้วยกับแนวทางที่ทางอาเซียนนำเสนอมาตั้งแต่ต้นแล้วก็ประเทศไทยได้ผลักดันในเวลานี้นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นตรงนี้เนี่ยก็จะเป็นจุดที่ทำให้หลายฝ่ายเนี่ยหันหน้ามาหากันแล้วก็มาผมหันหน้ามาพูดคุยกัน
Well, May, the aid may be 1 month away, as you say, but presumably it will help those who've been forced to flee fighting in Myanmar. But it also perhaps doesn't address the country's ongoing crisis. How else is Thailand actually involved, as it is a member of ASEAN, to actually resolve this conflict?
Indeed, the aid is just one part of the multifaceted conflict that we're seeing right now. And unfortunately, the aid to 20,000 people is a drop in the ocean because remember, 19 million people are in need of that. Now, what else is Thailand doing? Thailand said that the foreign minister is just using this as a starting point. That means hoping that if this really takes off and is successful, then he's hoping to implement this on a wider scale and obviously to involve even more people. And involving more people meaning to include the ICRC, the International Red Cross, and also other foreign aid agencies, for example, the UN, as well as from countries such as the European Union. All of them have said that they are ready and standing by to help. Aside from the aid aspects, obviously, Thailand Foreign Minister Parnpree also told me that he wants to use this opportunity to open a dialogue meaning using humanitarian efforts to open the doors to have talks. And talks with whom? Well, he's hoping that this will allow the stakeholders, for example, the Myanmar military, the ethnic armed youth groups as well as potentially the resistance forces to come to the table and talk, but based on a starting point of humanitarian. Again, I need to remind you here that things are going very slowly. It's been 3 years, but he's hoping that this will actually kickstart potential communication.
A starting point sorely needed. Mae, thank you very much for that. Mae Wong reporting live for us from Mae Sot in Thailand.